Oh, hello. It's been 4 weeks. You guys may have thought that I left, but I didn't. I just need motivation. That's what we're going to talk about today. Motivation is something that a lot of people think they need to have external motivation and or internal motivation, but there's a huge number of videos on YouTube that already discuss external motivation. I've watched a bunch. There's the videos of like they just take clips of different people saying different things and they sync it together with like cool visuals and it's just supposed to motivate you. I think those things are extremely important to have some version of an external motivation, something that externally motivates you. Like, for example, one thing that I do is I sign myself up to do events, powerlifting, marathons, half marathons, ultra running, and that motivates me to get shit done, right? Motivates me to put the work in the gym. I think that personally, external motivation can only get you so far. It's usually something that's going to start you out, right? So, external motivation is kind of like the kindling to the fire. That's a good way to think about it. You have to have kindling to start your fire so you can survive in your camping. And then eventually, the kindling runs out and you're going to need something that's going to last longer. And that's where internal motivation comes. Internal motivation is something that you use for yourself that motivates, you're constantly motivating yourself to continue to do things that you don't really want to do. A lot of people struggle with this. It's probably a multi-million-dollar thing, is like how to motivate people to stick to their diets, motivate people to get better results, to look better. A lot of things sort of center around fitness and health. I think that personally, internal motivation is something that you just have to do. We've talked about in tons of episodes about things that you have to do. Our first episode was literally about work. I think that internal motivation is you just putting the work in. So if we go back to our fire analogy, you use external motivation as the kindling. You watch a video, sign up for an event, and then the internal motivation is the logs that you put on the fire and that you just literally put the work in and just motivate yourself to do it. I know a lot of my friends in the lifting community will listen to music and get themselves hyped up for like big lifts. I don't even listen to music in the gym. I watch like Magic the Gathering videos and deck building tips because the internal motivation is like a switch that I can just turn on when I have to get shit done when the bar's heavy, It's something that it takes time to build and it ties in with discipline. That could be a good topic to be discussed also, but the motivation, there will be motivation like you're sitting on the couch, AC is inside. My garage does not have AC. Most gyms don't have AC. So you're chilling inside with AC and it's 95 degrees out, and then you have to go to the garage and you have to squat, right? No one wants to do that shit, but you have to find a way to motivate yourself. And what motivates you? I think that what is the most important thing is you have to be inspired by something to motivate you. So this ties in with goal setting. I think that if you have a goal, that's a huge internal motivator, right? Like I have a goal currently to make it onto the USA IPF team, equipped, of course. Now, looking at the results from the IPF equipped meet, I currently couldn't win, but I can still apply myself and motivate myself to keep grinding and get stronger and stronger to maybe hopefully win, and also take an age bracket, maybe like a master's. I'm going to be 40 in a couple of years, and that'll allow me to sneak in that way. But I still have to put the work in. So I have to motivate myself to go into the gym to squat after working 8 hours today at my third job. So where does that motivation come from? I really think that the motivation, like I said, it comes from goal setting. So I really would challenge you to set a goal of something that you want and motivate yourself towards it. Now, this doesn't all have to be physical health. That's my wheelhouse. That's what I'm most commonly known for, is because I'm getting to be a strong guy. But you could use internal motivation to help you get the job that you want, or to ask the girl out, right? Or to ask the dude out, or to ask they out, I think that having a goal will help keep your motivation high. If you just go through life aimlessly, then what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, you have to have goals in life. Now, do the goals need to be grandiose? Well, as a great philosopher, Kanye West said, aim for the stars, so if you fail, you'll land in the clouds. So aim for a really high goal, right? And then just keep fucking working at it and chipping away at it. And then if you fail, you're going to fall from the stars, but you'll land in the clouds. So you'll achieve more than you are at. One thing that's very important that I've heard about a lot, read this, seen this on different places, is that, you may be the slowest on the track, but you're doing laps around those that are seated on the couch. And I think you having internal motivation to do something, even if it's something like run a 5K or to finally bench 100 pounds, like those to me are kind of equivalent, then you just getting working at it, and your internal motivation is like, I want to achieve this, right? You should achieve the things that you set out to do. You should achieve the goals that you want to do. Make the goals hard. And then you'll get there and you'll be like, holy shit, okay, I got to move it up. Like, I was just reflecting and looking through some pictures because I was posting a picture of my wife and I on Instagram. We just celebrated our 21st anniversary, which I'm beyond grateful for. It's just something I could never imagine, to be in love with someone this long. But I saw a picture from 2015 New Year's Eve, so going into 2016, and it said, I want to deadlift 500 pounds. So I didn't deadlift 500 pounds in 2016. I don't think I deadlifted 500 pounds in 2017. I think I deadlifted my first 500 pounds in like 2018, right? Now I just deadlifted 628 pounds. So my original goal was to deadlift 500 pounds. So that was my motivation at the time, was to go into the gym and deadlift and do all the accessories that's needed for it, for whatever you want to do. And now I've just continuously gone on it. And then my goal was to deadlift 600 pounds. And then I broke through that 2 months ago. And now I'm already pulling 628. Where's the next goal? What's the next motivation? I think that once you set a goal and you accomplish it, then the motivation, you have to continue that motivation and set new goals. So, for example, now I'm trying to deadlift 660 because that's 300 kilograms. And I think it'd be sick to squat and deadlift 300 kilograms. That's just a sick ass number, So I think that the other thing that ties into motivation is that you have to do things that you find enjoyable to an extent, right? Like, no one directly enjoys going from sitting on the couch in the AC drinking like an ice cold LaCroix to running 26 miles. That's fucking ridiculous. But if you have something where, like, you know what, I want to get into shape, I need motivation. Well, your motivation is you. Look at yourself. Do you think that do you not like what you see? Then change it. You could do that. You're motivating yourself. Find a little bit, like we started this conversation with, find a little external motivation as you're kindling, and then just fucking go. Watch some videos, watch some tips. There's thousands of YouTubers out there. There's thousands of TikTok content creators and Instagram reel content creators that have like videos of human transformations. If that's what you want, do it. I think that the whole body dysmorphia ideal body type that we have in the United States and across the world, probably for those of you that are watching internationally, the 7 of you probably, I think that the idealization of certain body types is kind of ridiculous. I think that we should focus more on what our body can do and how our body can function, because who gives a shit if you're real skinny, if your bone density is extremely bad because you don't eat correctly. Also, if you're kind of obese, like I weigh 241. And when I was at the doctor's, I was like, yeah, I'm getting kind of heavy. But my doctor literally said, no, it's because you have muscle. And so sometimes I think you need to reflect on what number the scale says and don't worry about the ideal body type. If you have someone that loves you, if you can find someone that you find attractive, who finds you attractive, then who gives a shit about your body type? Like, that's what I've realized, because with the idealization of certain body types as a man, you need to be shredded and have a six pack, quote unquote, and big arms. But like, I don't look like that, dude. I look like I straight up have an unk body, and yet I'm comfortable and happy with my body because it can squat 660 and it can bench over 400 and it can finally deadlift over 600. So I don't need to have the motivation to get into better shape because my body does what I want. So therefore, there is no motivation to get into better shape, and there is no motivation to count my calories. You see how this is very cyclical? You have to have things that you want to do, and then you can be motivated by them. It can't just be out of fucking thin air. You can't just be like, climbing to the top of that mountain looks fun, I'm going to motivate myself. That doesn't make any goddamn sense if you don't want to do that, right? Like, the internal motivation comes from goals that you set that are desires that you want. That's pretty good. Think about that one. The eternal motivation comes from goals you set that come from desires you want. Now, you have to create those wants and see those wants and set the goals based on those wants. And then the motivation will be like, okay, let's get in the fucking gym, even though it's 95 degrees out. and we got AC on. Damn, that's good. I'm motivated also to play some competitive Magic. I want to. You know what I also want to do, and I said that I was going to do, but I haven't done, is I'm going to fucking make a beat tomorrow. I'm motivated. I want to make a beat tomorrow, so I'm going to try to make some beats tomorrow. So hopefully next week, in 2 weeks, next episode, we'll be back. 2 weeks from now, I might be out of town, but I'll try to record an episode. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'll record an episode from a different perspective, from a different location. Hopefully you guys like this visual. Third job shit. What are you motivated for? Put it in the comments if you made it this far in the video. I want to know what you're motivated to do, what you want to do. Hopefully it's something cool. I can't tell if this is still recording. Hopefully it is. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm motivated to accomplish some big things. Remember, the motivation comes from the desires of the motivation will come from the goals that you want, from the desires that you want, that type of stuff. Cool. I'll see you guys next week. In 2 weeks, I'll be filming in a different location. Love you all. Drop down what you're motivated to do in the comments. See ya.